Hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be discussing overclocking your controller. Now, this is only for PC, and I personally am using a standard PlayStation controller. All I have are grips around the side, and then a ring around the analog stick, and a thumbstick to easily control aim. As well as I have installed, these are the standard PlayStation paddles on the back. They are pre-mapped to be your X button and your circle button. In Warzone, it helps for sliding. Other games helping for jumping and whatnot, slide canceling. Um, and that is just for the controller itself. Now, when you plug in controllers, they have a standard input lag of somewhere around maybe 8 milliseconds, all the way up to something ridiculous like 30 milliseconds. And the goal of the overclock is to get it as close to zero input lag as possible. And with a couple programs, it is easy to achieve a zero 0.5, which is the best you can absolutely get, and a way of testing that too. And it'll start out by using DS4 Windows. Now that not only do you use it for bettering your time with your controller, but you can use it to actually use a PlayStation controller. PlayStation controllers are not plug and play. Xbox controllers are plug and play. So we start out by, you can Google all of these. You're just going to Google DS4 Windows. And then you're going to be going in here, hitting the download, and eventually in your downloads folder, let's see what we got. DS4. That's my old one. That's the new one right there. So then you'll have the DS4 Windows in your folder. You just keep going into it. And eventually you'll have the program down here. When you set it up, always approve and everything. And then eventually, after you get that set up, it will look just like this guy. Now you're going to have your device or your controller plugged in, and you're going to need to generate a profile for it. So from in here, we're able to do like a new profile, or I don't think you do import. No, you don't do import because that would be something external. So you would do new profile, and based off whatever, a DualShock 4 controller. And I have my profile set up for a Call of Duty, which emulates an Xbox controller. And then I have a Fortnite profile, and that one allows me to use a PlayStation controller, and it recognizes a PlayStation controller. And then default, you just can't get rid of it. Then you can just always make sure that it's exporting itself in the right slot. Generally, everything on here, you won't need to do much of anything at all. But I am going to go ahead and dive into my Call of Duty profile. Double click that. You're able to highlight over all the buttons and just make sure that they actually are designed to do what they are supposed to. You're also able to change them if you would like. But as far as the settings and everything, you don't need to touch over anything at all. It's set up pretty well because it is a profile. However, you're able to go and change the color of the light bar, um, do things with the touchpad, even though I wouldn't recommend it. And then they have this gyro, which is about being able to aim by tilting your controller. It's a fairly new feature. I saw somebody do it on Fortnite, but I don't touch it. I don't do anything with it. The magic here happens in the other tab with your device. And so at first, as I'm talking about, I'm emulating an Xbox 360 controller with this profile. So Call of Duty will actually recognize my controller. If I use a DualShock 4 controller, it will not recognize. It will not work. I can test my vibration. I personally use my vibration, whereas others don't. But I've grown accustomed to it, so I just keep it on there. The only other thing you're going to need to do is down here, the DS4 BT poll rate. You just want to make sure that that guy is selected at the max 1 millisecond, or the 1001 millisecond. It's the same thing. But once you have that, You just want to make sure you have a profile named, save, and apply, and then you're good to go. With this program, you just want to make sure that you do not close it. You just want to minimize it. I personally have mine where it's not on the taskbar at all, and it's in my tray. That's where I have it. So all I have to do is right click this guy, go to my controller, and then I can select another profile if I'd like. And suddenly, boom, it's on there. Now that will take your input lag and that'll reduce it from like 8 or whatever it is, potentially down to something like 2 milliseconds maybe, but it doesn't get it perfect. There is another program where more magic happens. And that is going to be over here. You are going to Google hidusbf. The first tab is going to be this Lord of Mice. So you're just going to go to that. You go and download his file. And so I'm going to go ahead into my downloads, hidusbf, and find it. Why did I do that? Yada, 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 yada. Nope, nope, nope. Anyways, you're going to find that file, and once you do, right there it is. Okay. And so also whenever something downloads, you give it the authorization, it's going to come up with a little zip file right here. You can see, and all you have to do is right click, and then you're going to extract all, and you're just going to make sure in your downloads folder that you got a regular folder, you don't have the zip folder, and then you can delete the zip folder afterwards. But as we were doing, this guy. Okay, when you're in here, you want to make sure you go to driver, and then you're going to go to setup. And then this is going to start up the program. Give it the authorization. I'm going to go ahead and maximize this so we can all see. Standard, it's going to have mice up here, and then you're going to want to drop that down, and you're going to go to all. Now, this is going to recognize every USB device that's plugged in. And you're going to want to find which one is your controller. Might be a little difficult, but your best thing to do is locate where you potentially think it is. Look at it. You're going to unplug your controller, and then it's going to disappear. And then afterwards, you're just going to plug your controller back in, and it's going to reappear. Now, I've already done mine, so it's up here. This was what it used to say was like USB composite device, no, default 5, but it did have this audio endpoint, headset, microphone, wireless controller inside of parentheses, HID compliant, yada, 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 full 9 yards. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure you highlight the device that you're going to be overclocking. If you need to, you're going to install this service. Down here, you're going to make sure that this check mark is in this box, and it is called filter on device. And then you're going to put this desired rate at 1000. Now, once you do, your thing should read USB composite device, yes, under the filter, 1000 under the rate, and 1 under the B interval. Now, you need to test this. So what you do, just simply unplug your controller. It'll disappear again, and then you're going to plug it back in. And once you do that, it pops back up. Should be the device. Yes, 1000, 1. You're good to go. Now, as I was saying, that this should be eliminating the input lag, and you should be close, if not dead on, like 0.5 milliseconds. The best overclock you could get for your controller. There is a way to test it, and that's where we go up here to this. You're just going to Google XinputTest. And then once you get that, you're going to download this folder of XinputTest. And let's see if I have it. XinputTest. Yes. It'll be listed as like this portable guy. And then it's going to have samples. And you're just going to run the 4000 sample. All right. I don't know what it was saying. But anyways, I do it through here. All right. So now it's waiting for your 4000 samples. It says move your left stick. So you just roll this guy around. You just keep doing it, and it's registering everything, and then it will stop itself. And it's saying the minimum is 0.005, the maximum is 2.48. It's got a little bit of jitter, and it's saying that the average is 0.4 milliseconds. The polling rate is well over 2,000. And that is how you test it. After that, you are good to go, play your games, and get better KD ratios and everything. Now, just be cool with yourself. It might take a little bit of time, but it'll be the most responsive controller you've ever played with on your life. And once you go back to a console, anything like that, you're going to be like, how did I play with this? Anyways, I'll have more videos coming. Catch you later. Thanks. Have a good one.